I know that this is going to be on Twitch, so my name is Stan Smith. I am the Game Master. Just like the previous episode we streamed, I'm just going to go around the table. The players are going to introduce themselves and which character, their name of the character and what they're playing. So, with that said,
So, me? Hi, I'm Chris. You guys probably seen me in a few others. I am playing Dondarian Mythomar, otherwise known as Dare. He is ostensibly a life cleric.
Okay. Goodbye. No, sorry. I'm tired today. Sorry, guys. Hello there. I'm Louis. I'm playing Kulgal. Hal Orc. Come on. Pressure. Come on.
okay.
Half Orc fighter. Nothing fancy. Just hitting stuff really hard till they die.
Alrighty. Young lady.
I'm Kelsey, and I'm playing Mia. She's a bard.
Awesome.
Alright, and I'm Giovanni, and I'm going to be playing Cassandra, who is a rogue.
Perfect. And with that said, this story is called Till Death Do Us Part. Let's begin. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even heard. The most beautiful things must be felt within our hearts. But does the heart blur what is true love or obsession? What's good or evil? What's life or death? More importantly, will your legacy be defined by the words you speak or the actions that you're going to take? And will you live long enough to see yourself become the hero or manifest to something much darker? It's the 13th moon of the fall equinox within the Dell lands of Fable. A modest city called Highdale is celebrating the union between the governor's daughter, Cassandra Brightwood, a Duchess, and Lord Robert Kincaid of House Kincaid. Now, each of you, you're all attending the grand reception for the Duchess and Lord Kincaid's union at the Governor's Banquet Hall. Torches, braziers, and brass chandeliers hanging high from the ceilings illuminate this reception hall. All about the celebration, the sounds of music and friendly chatter consume this great hall. Tables and chairs with all sorts of local dishes like savory pork, spiced lamb, steamed vegetables, and freshly baked goods. In the center of this hall is a large gathering area used for dancing. Now this separates the banquet hall into two halves. To the north, we have a long dais, which rests upon a long table, which rests upon a stone dais. Sitting at this long table is Governor Brightwood, several aristocrats, and of course our guests of honor, the Cassandra Brightwood and Lord Robert Kincaid. Now, though the newlyweds are relatively young in their 20s, it's obvious that they are both very much in love. Kulugal. You're a guard of the city watch, and you're tasked to oversee this wedding reception with another guard, a close friend of yours, Mercury. Currently, you're both at the main entrance, ensuring all the invitations are in order and no party crashers make their way inside. Boredom sets in as you watch the upper class, and you sort of feel left out. You also notice that your buddy Mercury is staring over to the dais as well, with the same expression as you both go way back. Mercury leans towards you, just as bored as you are. But have you ever noticed how beautiful the Duchess is, and how guys like you and I, because we're not nobles, never get a chance to win her hand?
Difficult to say, my friend. We are drunk half the time when we try to speak with women.
You make a good point, but you know what? Something definitely is going to happen and change our fortunes, but I don't know if it's going to happen in this place because this is definitely out of our league. At that moment, an older couple, nobles, come walking in, dressed really well. They're probably in their early 60s, both with bleached white hair. The man produces an invitation and hands it to you to inspect. You grab the invitation, and it says, Mr. and Mrs. Blackwell of Blackwell's Goods and Trades. What I'd like you to do is make an investigation roll.
Will be a 3.
Okay, well, you think this invitation looks legitimate. Mercury looks at you. Is it good?
I think something went into the drinks we got there, but it should be good, yes.
Okay. Mercury says, enjoy the reception. The older couple goes, and they slowly drift in to go find their seat. Just behind them is a small, stocky dwarf walking in. He's wearing a very large, oversized suit. Looks kind of ridiculous on him. He has a very dark beard, but it's braided in the front really long. He sort of looks at you with a forced smile, and he pulls out an invitation, and he hands it to you. The invitation reads, Ferric Fireforge. And he's looking at you kind of nervous. You have his invitation. Please make another investigation roll.
17.
This time, you can tell it appears to be forged. I need you to make a perception roll.
12.
You immediately pick up that even though his outfit looks kind of large for a dwarf, his shoes are muddy and dirty. He seems to be sweating very nervously. Mercury picks up on you looking at him as you picking something up. Varric says, is there a problem, city guards? Very nervously.
Outside of the fact that this is obviously forged, you look to have mocked someone for it, considering the oversized clothes.
Make an intimidation roll, please.
16.
He looks at you, he's like, fine, I don't want to be here anyway. And he turns and he walks away. Mercury's very impressed with how well you did. He says to you, the irony is they hire us to do such a great job to keep out riffraffs like him, but yet we'll never be able to mingle with nobles like this. But I'll tell you this, my friend, one day, destiny's gonna change things. One day, it will change things. There,
Yes.
as you sit with family and friends at that second table, your older sister, Juliana, reaches over and plops a side of steak from her plate onto yours. She has a disgusted look about her face, and you know your sister, she's older than you, she is actually a vegetarian. Other guests at the table, they continue to talk and enjoy the food and conversation and music. And as Juliana sort of leans next to you, looking over at the dais. Now, you and her are siblings, but Cassandra is actually your cousin. The governor is your uncle. So when your sister slowly leans next to you, she says, Brother, are you familiar in how Cass met Lord Kincaid?
My duties in the temple have blinded me to most of the goings-on of the rest of our family. Do tell, sister.
Well, she sort of smiles and she pulls up even closer, trying to keep her voice down as she tells you the story. Many suitors have been trying to get to our cousin Cassandra for over the year to get her hand in marriage. But there was one particular man. His name was Count Armand Mortis. You see, he was strange and he was obsessed with our cousin. So bad that our uncle, the governor, banned him from speaking to her or coming to Highdale. But little brother, no, that didn't stop him. For Mortis kept going on and stalking our cousin. And it wasn't until an order was issued from our uncle saying if he sets foot within this city, he'll be killed. So this obviously angered Count Mortis, and, well, as any other psycho stalker would, he took it to heart. Since he couldn't have her hand in marriage and he didn't want to see another win her hand, he did the only coward thing a stalker would do. He killed himself. And that's where Lord Kincaid comes in. Our cousin was so upset, he rode it on his white horse and stayed by her side during this time of need. And hence they fell in love. She gently with her finger points over to a far table at that end. You see that old woman in the corner, brother? Her name is Lady Amelia. Now you look at an old woman sitting at the far table next to the stone dais. She's older, probably in her 60s. She has white hair up in a bun. She's wearing a dark blue robe and a red gown with a ceremonial hood. My little brother, Lady Amelia, that's actually Count Mortis's mother. Make a perception roll.
That will be a. Nice, this sheet. 13.
You needed a 10. You look at her, and even though she has a forced smile about her face, trying to enjoy the festivities, you could tell it's a sad look in her eyes. More importantly, she's under emotional distress. And as you're taking in her image and how she looks, your sister, Juliana, says, "But do you also see the big man next to her?" Sitting next to her is a tall, brooding, intimidating older man in his 50s. He has short graying hair, facial scars about him, a large, square chin. His name is Griswold the Black. He's the captain of the guard from where Amelia lives and her personal bodyguard. Griswold is wearing a formal military uniform and ceremonial armor. He has a blue hooded cape with a wolf pelt on its back. I need you to also make another perception roll, sir.
10.
Damn. You see he has a disdain look of disgust on his face, and he's not trying to hide it. Even though Lady Amelia is putting on a force trying to show that she's not sad. And as you're sitting there looking at him, his eyes actually meet yours. And for a brief second, that darkness in his eyes sends a few chills down your spine, and he looks elsewhere. So that's how our cousin Cassandra ended up meeting Lord Kincaid. I heard Robert is a sweet man, and if she's happy, I'm happy. Don't you agree, brother?
Of course.
So with that said, enjoy the steak, because you know what meat does to my stomach.
I'm glad you gave up meat.
Okay. So, now we go to the middle of the dance floor. Mia, today you're celebrating the wedding of your older sister, Cassandra, the Duchess,
Oh, I love her.
to the handsome Lord Robert Kincaid. You, like many other people at this wedding, you're enjoying yourselves, not a little too much to drink, but you're dancing and having a good time as you find yourself on the dance floor, celebrating your sister's union to this handsome young man. Now, Mia, as the music plays, a childhood companion of yours is on the dance floor. His name is Matthias Caldwell. He sort of walks over to you with a little step as he's enjoying the music, and you're just having a great time. Matthias looks at you and he smiles, and he looks over at the dais. You also glance at the dais, and you see your sister holding up a beautiful silver chalice. She looks at you and winks and holds it up to honor you as well, knowing that you're having a great time, and she drinks this. Your love for your sister is great. Matthias leans next to you. So, if you really want to honor your sister, I challenge you to a dance-off.
Well, little one, I accept.
Whoa, okay. The crowd yells, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the first dance-off of the evening. So, the way this is going to work, young lady, we're going to have 4 rounds of dancing. I'm going to roll a 20-sided die. Then you and Matthias, while you dance, have to get the closest number. Whoever does wins that round of dancing. And we have 4 rounds. So this is the roll that we're going to have to beat. A 15. Go.
6.
11.
Do I add anything to that?
No.
Okay.
I got, use a dice to keep how many points you have. Right now you have none.
Oh, okay, 0 points.
Yep, I'm at 1. So you're trying to keep up to the nice groove. Alcohol is playing its tricks on you and you're dancing. You haven't got that rhythm yet. Ready?
I'm ready.
DM rolls a 2. Go ahead.
15.
15. Nothing happens. You both are on pace, keeping up with each other. The number a 20.
9.
have one. Ready? Next dancing. A 20! Oh, wow.
A 1.
She got...
I'm a professional. Okay, no
So,
problem.
I got 2 now. This is round. We have 2 more rounds to go. A 6.
A 3.
A 5. We're gonna call.
You get it.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. Woo! One more.
Oh man, first before?
You're trying to dance, but you think the alcohol is really messing with you.
Yeah, I'm
In the
just
corner
really,
of your eye, you see your sister at the dais with a huge smile, drinking from this beautiful silver chalice.
I
Even
wave at her.
your father is even there, the governor, and he smiles and he's proud that you're honoring your sister with dance.
And I do not care that I'm losing.
15.
8.
And Matthias for the win. 9.
Wow. I'm gonna be like, whatever. Give him a high five.
He gives you a high five and he says, "You'll always be a friend in my eyes. I love you, my friend," he
I
says.
love you.
And he goes to give you a hug.
Absolutely.
And everybody is cheering around the dance floor as you're having a great time.
More drinks.
More drinks! Hey!
I'm still dancing. I don't give a shit.
Not all, though, at this wedding reception are having a good time or here to play and drink.
I thought not.
Cassidy, you're a trusted bodyguard of Lord Robert Kincaid. You've been so for the past 10 years. He is your employer, but he's more or less like a brother to you. Robert is celebrating the marriage to the Duchess Cassandra Brightwood. Everyone in this grand hall is celebrating this wedding, everyone but you. You've been a loyal bodyguard, and you're not going to stop at this reception. You find yourself in a dark corner in the shadows by yourself, ever vigilant, watching everyone, watching everything, as you quietly survey from the shadows, taking a look around. A smiling waiter walks over with a tray filled with all these mugs with froth dripping down the sides. My lord, would you like ale?
Not interested. I have to make sure it stays sharp.
Very well. And he turns around and walks away. Everyone around you is having a great time, but you have that tunnel vision, watching like a cat. I need you. Oh, at this moment, you glance over at the dais. Lord Kincaid, in the commotion of happiness, actually takes a moment and he looks at you and he holds up a beautiful silver chalice. And he honors you by nodding his head and he drinks from it. Because he knows you're protecting him.
Yeah, I'm ahead of return.
He turns back and he starts talking to his new lovely wife. I need you to make a perception roll. These are going to be low rolls for you because you're on watch.
Got it. 17.
You immediately look at the long windows that line the walls to this facility outside into the sky. The moon is blue, and the shadows cast on the moon, it makes it look like there's a skull on the surface. It makes you a little uneasy. Make another perception roll.
11.
You notice a black cat quietly walking between the legs and under the tables of everyone in this reception hall, and it has a dead mouse in its mouth. Make one more perception roll.
20, dirty 20.
Oh, she's gonna be one of those nights.
It's one of my lows.
You see a drunken man walking by a wall, and next to the wall is a huge ladder. This ladder is used commonly to change the wax candles from the chandelier. He staggers underneath the ladder, bumps it, and walks about his business. Suddenly, a heavy-set drunk man with a bright red nose holding a wooden mug walks over to you. Seems like a noble. He's drunk off his ass. His mouth smells of alcohol. Oi! Who are you? And he takes a sip from this mug.
I'm the bodyguard. I'm Robert.
Well, why ain't you eating and celebrating the Lord's wedding?
Because I'm on watch. As a bodyguard should be.
And when he speaks to you again, some spittle comes out and it gets on your shirt and goes, "Have a little drink of my elixir. You'll be happier."
I'm gonna pass. Please, go back to the party.
He looks at you again. You're not smiling. Have a drink. And he's being a little more rude.
I'm gonna just kind of slightly shove the drink back toward them. It's like, please, I insist.
Make an intimidation roll.
Doesn't sound right.
You have advantage, by the way, at this.
He doesn't need
I don't need it. That is, intimidation?
Yeah.
That is a 22.
Jesus Christ, it's gonna start. You guys are gonna be good hands, by the way. His eyes grow wide. Even though he's drunk, he knows you're a person not to be messed with. All right, it's fine. It's fine. He sort of stumbles and looks away with his big glass. Make him a last perception roll, please.
So angsty.
The music helps.
Yeah. Of course. 9.
You needed an 8.
Wow.
That's what I have here, yeah. As you scan the whole area, there's one person in particular that catches your attention. You notice a man known as Griswold the Black, an older man wearing ceremonial military garb and armor. He's sitting at a table with Lady Amelia from the House Mortis. He, like you, is a bodyguard, and your eyes meet for a brief second. Though his eyes are cold and stoic like yours, he actually nods at you in acknowledgement, knowing that you're working as he is as well.
I'm gonna return the nod. But I'm gonna keep my eyes on him. Yeah. I'll keep my gaze right on him. Griswold the Black, right? Yeah. With the Amelia. Okay.
An hour into the reception, the governor stands, raises his hands, and trumpets blare out. All the guests eagerly take their seats. With a proud smile on his face, wrinkles crackling in the light of the hall, the governor stands up to speak to the guests. Now, the governor, he's also an older man, probably in his 50s, like every other dad, kind of on the chunky side. He has reddish short hair. He's a well-manicured mustache. He wears very expensive formal wear, and he has a small tinted monocle on his face. He looks at the crowd. As the proud father of the Duchess Cassandra and my new handsome son-in-law, Robert Kincaid, I want to thank you all for honoring us with your presence. As tradition, I'd like to open up the floor to anyone who wishes to address the newlyweds during this beautiful day of their union. Now, Kugel. When he hears that, Mercury sort of leans next to you. This is the part where they all blow smoke up their asses.
You've been here 1,000 times, my friend. This is just another night where we are going to get drunk after this. No worries.
Hell yeah, my brother. Hell yeah. But you guys say this respectfully quiet so nobody else can hear around the area. You're at the table. Juliana looks over at you, Dare. Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to...
Of course.
So you suddenly hear the sounds of scraping wood on tile floor as everyone looks at a table, and you see a cleric, the cousin of Cassandra, and cousin of yours, stand up.
Yeah.
And everyone's eyes fall on you.
Are there any other, before I start in character, are there any other clergy from my temple or anything here?
There's a priest/cleric at the dais with them.
So nothing I'll have to do prayer or what. All right. So I hold up my tankard, and I say, Cassandra, though my duties at the temple have kept me from our years of... My brain is shut down, I apologize. Though my duties at the temple have kept me from knowing you better than I should these last few years, I do wish you and your new husband a blessing from Lathander. May your days be bright and your hearts be full.
There it is.
Here, here.
Everyone cheers. Here, here, here. Mia, you're at the dance floor next to your dance partners. You're a little tipsy with a big smile on your face. And you look at your sister, your father. Everyone is in a great mood. The governor says, is there anybody else who would like to say words?
Me, sister.
Go ahead.
Hello, sister. I love you, and you look so beautiful.
She and Robert both hold up these beautiful silver chalices with proud smiles. Robert looks at you knowing that he has a beautiful sister-in-law, and they both raise the chalices and they drinks from it. Okay. Everyone looks around. No one else is speaking, and then you hear once again the sound of a chair scraping across the floor, and it echoes throughout this hall. Looking over at the far table, Lady Amelia is being escorted by her bodyguard to the front of the dais. Can you remove that old lady with the hood token at that table? Right there, right? No. Right, yep, and the one next to it, the guy with the armor. Yep. And then put both of these at the front of the stairs looking up at the dais. Here? Yep, facing upward. They work their way up. She has her arm interlocked to his arm. Once they get to the top of the bottom of the stairs looking up at the dais, he removes his arm from hers. He takes out a long sword and places it down in a military position as he stands at attention. Lady Amelia licks her lips, stares up at the governor with a nice forced smile, looking both at Cassandra and Lord Robert. The House Mortis thanks the governor for the invite. Though my son was weak and did not know how to handle rejection, his feelings are not shared with the House Mortis. She sort of bows her head. To show there is no ill will, the chalices the newlyweds drink from today were family heirlooms passed down from the House Mortis, as I give to you as a sign of appreciation. And may it bring you happiness for generations to come.
Can I can hear her speak.
Oh yeah, everyone.
Can I get some kind of intuition insight
Make an
check?
insight roll. Yep.
10.
Can I do the same?
Yeah.
You're the bodyguard.
Yeah. Inside. That is a 16.
You're a little on the tipsy side. You're thinking, she's just some wacky old lady. You're just getting very uneasy about the way she's speaking. It's not something where you want to run out and tackle her, but it's just putting you more on guard, especially with the signs
I
that
want
you've
to
seen.
place my hands on my rapier and just kind of keep watch and see if anything weird happens.
And then she says, lastly, Governor, may the gods comfort you during this time of grief. And she throws her hands out and bows her head. Everyone's looking around sort of confused. The governor, with a smile on his face, not sure what she exactly said. He says, grief? What do you mean grief? This is a time of greatness. Suddenly, the sounds of two chalices falling to the main table draws everybody's eyes at the dais. Both newlyweds stand up and their faces are pale. They're grabbing their throats and their eyes flip back into their heads. Suddenly, the lovely newlyweds who share true love crash to the floor. The entire crowd sighs, and the loud audible sound that travels throughout this reception hall. Lady Amelia gets up from her bow with a very sadistic smile about her face. In 4 hours, Governor, you too will see and feel what it's like to suffer the loss of a child. The governor, in a panic, gets up and he points at Lady Amelia and Griswold the Black. God, seize them! Seize them! Somebody come help my daughter! The place gets crazy and everyone sounds very concerned, and you hear this, you hear this, you hear this. Griswold the Black takes out his sword and gets into a fighting stance. You see this as well, and you're a guard, and you hear this. Griswold, when he draws his sword, he looks at everyone, glancing quickly at you, then back at everybody else. I expected not to leave here alive, but I do expect to take some of you with me. And he gets back into his stance. The two guards that are closest run at him. He immediately cuts them down, and their blood sprays all across the dance floor. People are in a panic. Can you take those 2 tokens off the table? Let's roll for initiative, and you guys are going to tell me what you can do. So who got 15 and 20?
15.
Since you're the guard, I'm going to put you first. What did you get?
11.
10.
I rolled a 15 also. boxes are 5 feet. What would you like to do?
I will run up to them, try to stop them from killing more people.
Alright, so you're gonna run and do a dash. That's the quickest way you can go.
Okay, so it will be 5, 15, 20.
Alright, you're gonna be about the middle of the dance floor where Mia is.
Yeah.
So, and Mercury is also running with you. Put him next to you. Alright, no bonus actions?
No, as of right now, no.
Okay, there.
Alright, I am going to start, kick over my chair. My eyes are on my cousin.
Yep.
And I'm going to dash. Probably around here, going around people.
Alright, and that's an elevated dais, and that's about 4 feet up, okay?
So I'm probably going to get about there because I got to cut in between people that are freaking out.
You got it. My guy with the sword, he's going to turn around and go towards the woman with on the dance floor next to Mia. So let's move him over there. Yep. Right here. Yep.
Don't kill the
He
lady.
cuts her down immediately.
Oh, good.
Okay, Cassidy, you're up.
All right. So I'm gonna scream, Lord Kincaid, what have you done to him? 2, 3, 5, 6. That's 4 again.
Where's your speed?
I have a crossbow. Prep it. I'm gonna shoot right at this
The lady?
the lady there. Yes.
All right.
What she's done to my ward.
That is a hit. Roll for
All
damage.
right.
It's hard to wear those stupid
Yeah, I know. 5 damage. My piercing damage.
Lay her down. She falls straight to the ground. She's incapacitated. She's older. That really did damage her. Anything else, sir?
Nope, that's it.
Mia, you just saw what happened. There's
I'm very
blood,
mad.
and he's looking at you too. His eyes meet because he knows you're a family member.
So I am going to sober up real nice and fast. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whisper,
Oh shit.
and that is a Wisdom saving throw, please.
20.
Shit. Okay, well you don't have to run away, but you do have to take damage.
Go for it.
There we go. There we go. All
There were
6s.
6.
Dirty crit.
3 6s.
No shit. How much is that?
18? 3 times 6
18 damage, yeah.
18
Plus whatever
damage.
your thing is.
plus 5.
Now describe to us how the spell works, young lady, and what it looks like.
So I just am gonna close my eyes, look down, and I whisper, like a little tune, and then that's just where it like travels. My whisper travels to him and does damage.
As he looks at you, his eyes grow really wide. His body shakes and convulses. Griswold the Black's massive sword falls and hits the ground. The clang echoes through the reception hall.
Half damage because he passes the thing.
So that's
9.
9 damage.
9 damage.
Blood drips down his ears as he's shaking, and he's very hurt.
Yes.
Next to top, Coolgal.
Now we're just going to move normally
Yep, and now you can get into combat range.
and engage him. Yes.
City Guard, let's do it. Represent.
Let's see, my dice rolls can be. Okay, that will be at 12 plus 6, that will be 18.
That is a hit. And what are you hitting him with?
The long sword, that will be 1d8.
The other one, yeah.
5 plus 6 because I took 2 lists,
Right.
so that will be 11.
Woo! Describe how you dispatch and take out Griswold the Black.
I got his hand to disarm him and then stab his thigh. With trying everything in my power not to kill him immediately, to look for answers in this mess.
You hit him with the broadside of your sword, and he drops to the ground unconscious. Turn him down, lay him flat. And now, the threat is gone. Everyone's still concerned. At the dais, lying on the ground, is a motionless Robert Kincaid and the Duchess Cassandra. Your father, your uncle, he's bawling his eyes, he's on his ground, looking for answers as people are standing around him.
So I am going to. I'm going to pray for guidance. Lathander, lend me your knowledge.
Okay.
And I'm going to continue to move up here. I'm going to try to get as close as I can to my fallen cousin.
You're right next to the
And I'm
group.
going to start examining her to see if I can figure out anything that might be going on.
All right, and since you made that roll, let's do an Arcana check, please.
Arcana? Okay.
Save her, cousin.
Oh wait, I get the D4. Well, ain't gonna matter. Just in case it does matter, it's only a whopping 4.
Oh no.
You go there and you're looking at your cousin and her new husband that's on the ground, and there's a lot of commotion going on, so it's keeping you from actually concentrating. A gentle hand is placed onto your shoulder. It is a cleric priest that's also at the dais, and you guys do know each other. And he says, "Don't worry, brother. I'll take a look." And he gets down on his knees and he's sort of analyzing them, and you see him looking at the chalices as well. What would you like to do, Cassandra?
I'm gonna make my way over to Amelia,
Okay.
and she's still alive, correct?
She is, and now there are other guests also around her,
Yeah.
because she's still a threat.
I want to push them aside and
You do?
make my way to her.
Her eyes meet yours.
Okay, and I want to grab the crossbow and kind of twist it, inflict pain.
Yep.
And
To torture her?
yeah. I said, "What have you done to them?"
She grimaces in pain as her eyes meet yours. She smiles as she looks over at the dais at the commotion. She looks back at you. She tells you, "There's no saving them, my child." She coughs up some blood. "There's necrotic poison flowing through their bodies. They only have 4 hours to live, my young child. 4 hours. There's nothing you can do. Nothing no one can do. For there is only one cure, and only a holy man would know what that is." And she coughs up more blood. She's slipping from this world.
I'm gonna twist it again.
Okay, make an intimidation roll. It's 15 or higher.
Intimidation. It's a 13.
She's staring at you, a smile on her face, but you know this look too often. Lady Amelia dies in front of you.
Damn it.
Mia, would you like to?
Is he alive?
He's dead. Oh, he's unconscious, yeah.
Unconscious.
Griswold?
Yep.
Can I go smack him in the face, try and wake him up?
Sure, go ahead. Let's do a medicine check. 10 or higher.
8.
It doesn't, he's out. And the guard that hit him so hard, he's probably going to be out for,
7.
that's 5 rounds. So we're going to go back to you. You're standing next to you, Mercury is there. Mercury takes out some rope. You see him immediately tying Griswold's hands. He's like, my friend, we have to do something. See if they need help at the dais. I'll take care of him.
I go on, speak with you. Did you get something out of her, my lord?
All she said is that it's necrotic poison that's flowing through their bodies. They have 4 hours to live.
Anything else?
Any cure?
Only a horny man would know. I don't know what that means.
Holy.
Holy man.
Did you think you said horny?
Sorry, it was a
Horny?
loud commotion. I heard it was horny.
I can
A
find a
holy
horny
man.
man.
A holy man would know.
Okay, a holy man would know. You would look over at the dais and you see a cleric, and you know this cleric is related to the governor.
That's weird.
You also see a holy man, a priest, standing next to the cleric, as they're all standing around the bodies, trying to find a way to help this lovely couple that just fell to the ground.
A holy man. We need a holy man.
Plenty of there, my lord. I see them in myself directly. There are already some examining. We need to look for more, just in case.
More what?
Holy man.
No.
I want
We
to
need
make
all the
my way
holy
to
men.
Robert.
Okay.
Yeah, and just kind of look at him and
You try, as you do approach them, looking over the crowd that's gathered, you see Robert, your eyes meet, and you get a very sad feeling in your stomach that this may be the last time you'll probably see him alive. He has been your employer, but like I said, he's been like a brother to you.
Yeah.
To the point where you're the only person in his house that he invited to this wedding reception.
Can I get up to him, like physically
Yes.
get up to him?
Yep.
Okay, I want to like press my hand on his cheek and whisper, I will figure something out. I will get something for you.
I see you come right there. I kind of see you doing that. I give you a brief nod.
And then when you say that, the priest cleric that's there, he says to you, he's holding up one of the silver chalices. My friend, my brother, the only thing that possibly can stop the necrotic energy I feel from these chalices, it's a suicide mission, but the only thing that could stop the poison flowing through their bodies is the bone dust of a lich. The governor, in tears, says, a lich? What the hell is a lich? The holy man says, it is an unnatural creature, my lord, that dwells with the dead. And the only such rumors of a lich can be found within the Shadow Hill Cemetery in the Lurkwood Forest. It's an hour journey on foot. There's no horse or carriage can go through that forest because of the terrain. But I can tell you this, my lord, all those who travel to that cemetery never return.
I'm gonna cry, and I'm walking up there, and it doesn't matter what I have to do, I'm going to do it. And I'll do it alone, I don't care.
She gets up and says this, and there's a sense of hope that begins to fill this reception hall. As Mia stands, the moonlight flashes on her, and she's very brave and
My hair's
courageous.
flowing.
Very pure. As she says this, a lot of the people on their knees look up at her with excitement. You hear that, but then Mercury next to you says, don't do it. You'll get killed. Don't do it.
Is anyone with me?
I'm going.
I am with you, my cousin.
I am
As
Chalco.
is Lathan.
Your house has treated me
Yes.
fairly, my lady. This is a debt I have to pay.
At that moment, the governor's eyes widen, the priest that's next to you, his eyes widen, and they look about amongst all of you. The governor, with little strength that he has, says, then very well! May the gods protect this fellowship and grant them haste! For my children, they only have so much to live! May the gods speed be with you all! And the crowd has hope. With that said, we're going to take a break. I'm going to set up the next thing. If you guys want to step outside, and I'll bring you back in when the next one's set up.
You got
The
it.
fellowship has begun.
The Fellowship of the Ring. I mean,
Yeah.
The challenge? Oh,
Fellowship of the Chalice.
Bomb holder? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I mean,